We are going to look at the current playoff standings in the NFL through 11 weeks. We are now entering week number 12. As this brings up real quick, give me one quick second. Pick the conference, Kyle. AFC, NFC first. Do you see that, sir?
We can open. I do now. We can open with the NFC. Why not?
All right, NFC, because we do these locks all the time now. Right now, currently the number one seed,
I don't
the Eagles.
do locks all the time. I make a lock when it's time to lock somebody, and then I'm right.
Well, Eagles 1, Lions 2, Niners 3. Look at the Lions number 2. Wow, what year are we in now, buddy? 4 Saints, 5 seeds the Cowboys, 6 seed Seahawks, 7 seed Vikings, and then the next closest team on this list here is the Packers as the 8th at 4 and 6. That's a game and a half behind. Got the Rams at 9.
But wait, Falcons. I thought the Fraud Cons were going to win the South.
Falcons at 10. Like 11 got the Buccaneers. Of course, the Commanders at 12, and then this number of trash between 13 and 16: Giants, Bears, Cardinals, Panthers.
Blah blah.
We already said weeks ago. Lock all 70 teams up. I'm still there. I think we want to have a conversation about positioning. We can have that now.
Yeah, I'll say it's a little early for that for me to get in that conversation. We still have, they still have the week 11 matchups there too. I mean, like everybody did what they were supposed to do. I think the Niners will also lift themselves up, beating who they need to beat on Thursday night in the form of the Seahawks in Seattle. I think that'll be fine. The Saints have a very winnable game against the Fraud Cons. That should be interesting.
Here's the thing also, too. I think at this point now, the Saints are pretty much, I'm not going to say a runaway yet, but it looks like they're going to run away to the South now because the Falcons are falling apart. Bucks are falling.
The Fraud Cons and the Bucks are both 4 and 6, while the Saints have
5.
So they're still only a game apart, so we shouldn't be going completely nuts.
Correct, right.
So this game is close upcoming, but or rather, this race is still close upcoming with the Saints battling the Fraud Cons. So, like, whatever. The sacrificial lamb in the NFC South, it is what it is.
I do think, though, Kyle, I won't lock this situation here, but I feel pretty good with the Lions being a 2 seed for one reason. If the Niners somehow lose to the Eagles in a few weeks, that virtually locks the Lions as 2 seed. Because the Lions' schedule is pretty cake rest of the way. It's pretty cake. You want me to bring it up for you real quick? You want me to bring it up?
No, I mean, you can if you'd like, but I'll put it this way. This late in the season, they still have another game against the Pack, if I remember correctly.
They do. They do.
That's quirky.
It's always quirky, yeah.
The NFC North is a quirky place, whereas I find the Niners to be far more reliable to battle and subdue an NFC West team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a factor that we don't want to overplay too much, right?
Right. So Detroit's remaining schedule here in front of me. I got it. Packers is Thursday on Thanksgiving. Saints, the Bears, then Broncos, Vikings, Cowboys. The Vikings again. Actually, tougher than I thought. I think we were saying, because at the time the Vikings weren't good. Now all of a sudden
they're still not good. But the NFC North physics and Josh Dobbs being a thing, it's worth talking about.
Yeah, I won't lock them up, but I think that Eagles-Niners game is going to play a large part in Detroit's future because if the Niners lose that game to the Eagles, and Lions can do their job, they'll have a 2-game lead on San Francisco.
Yeah, well, and then all that could change on the health of Trent Williams as well. So there's that.
Yeah, he did play this weekend, didn't he?
He sure did.
Okay, here we go. So in terms of locks, honestly, dude, I don't see the Eagles falling apart here. I really don't. I don't. They do got a tough schedule moving forward, but they should take care of business. I mean, they just beat the champs last night.
We still got 7 games left. I'm not prepared to start locking seeds, but
no, I won't lock. I won't. To your point, the only thing, if it's anything, I'm more comfortable locking up the wild cards. The division winners, honestly. Cowboys, Seahawks, Vikings. That's your 3. Boom, I'm good.
I think I've locked up 5 teams. I don't know that I locked up the Cowboys yet. I don't think I did. But
might as well.
I think I did. But I'm not sure about the Vikings yet. You're the one that's waving the Vikings flag. I'm just not there yet. I can't blow the horn yet.
I locked all 7 teams again into the postseason. What I did though, is I said that if you're talking about positioning though, I'm more confident about
I know you
wild
did.
cards.
I said
Right.
I'm not there yet with 7 games left. I'm
Right.
not start playing that game.
Right. So as I keep scrolling up and down this whole thing on the screen, guys, I apologize for you guys getting a little dizzy at this, but yeah, we're there. All right, AFC. So right now, as due to the loss last night of the Chiefs, the Ravens are currently had the bye week and now they started today at the
That
number 1
loss
seed.
isn't even the biggest news, though. How do you not include Joey Burr as the biggest loss?
Oh, we're getting there. We're going to get there.
Of the week.
Okay, Logan, you're in Logan, I can't see. You're in the way. Thank you, buddy. All right, 2 the Chiefs, 3 Jaguars, 4 Dolphins. That 2 through 4 situation is going to be pretty interesting going forward. Chiefs have beaten both Dolphins and Jaguars for the record. The Browns at 5, the 5 seed. 6 seed is the Texans, as I said earlier. 7 seed currently the Steelers. Is he on screen right now, buddy? Logan on screen?
Yes, he's absolutely on screen.
Logan, you gotta go on the screen, buddy. We can't see anything. You know, I know, buddy. You look adorable. I get it. Here's what gets interesting now, though. The wild card is about to be a cluster, and the Bengals, obviously losing Joey Burrow for the year, that changes everything in the wild card situation. Currently, you have your 8 seed at the Bills, 9 seed Colts. All of a sudden, Rusty's back at the 10 seed, the Broncos.
Relax.
Bengals 11, Raiders 12, Chargers falling off 13, Jets 14, and then of course 15, 16 the Patriots. I ain't locking shit. Just put it away. Again, much like the wild card in the NFC, I feel better about. Here, I'll say this much though. I'm okay with locking the Dolphins as a division winner in the AFC East. I'm okay with that.
Mistake, but okay.
You think the Bills will surge?
I'm not prepared to rule it out.
Okay.
At this point, with the way things worked with the firing of the OC last week, I'm not here to say it's cured. I am here to say there's enough room for pause.
Here are my locks. I won't lock any seeds yet, but I'll lock the Chiefs of the AFC East, AFC West winner.
Did we do that weeks ago? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sky's blue also, right?
So
I'm okay with the only reason I have apprehension on the Ravens
is because Lamar Demetrius Jackson's health.
Thank you. And of course, the Jaguars and Texans are going to battle out for the AFC South. We can't lock them anymore. Where are you on the Browns though? Are you ready to lock those wild card at least?
Oh God, that's tough. That's a no from me, dog. Yep. I'm impressed by what they're doing, but they still got a lot to do with 7 games left on the bleeding schedule, don't they? Like, there's a lot of there to still wrangle up. I just call me a hater if you'd like. I can't do it. And I get they got a relatively easy out. Mm-hmm. I say relatively, it's still losable, but they have a relatively easy out with the Denver Broncos. But they have games against the Jags, the Texans upcoming too. And honestly, if you like defensive football, Thursday night, week 17 against the Jets is a big fat hairy deal. So their schedule is sneaky difficult, but their lows are low and the difficulties are relatively difficult. Like the most difficult team on there might be Jacksonville or Houston. That's kind of a coin flip as to which one you think is tougher. I think Houston's a more difficult matchup for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll have to think about that. Not to mention any elements of vengeance and emotion that could be going on with Deshaun Watson returning to town. That could be a thing. That's all very complicated. And of course, even though Deshaun isn't playing anymore, I feel like that's still a factor. You know what I mean?
This is complicated for me too also.
Yeah.
Because Go ahead.
No. Yeah. I mean, and we don't know what to make of Cincinnati either as a divisional game, even though they don't have Joey Burrow, blah, 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 blah. So,
do you think, I thought Browning played decent against Baltimore in that game. I mean, you ain't beat Baltimore on moment's notice, but I didn't think he was an atrocity when Burrow went down.
No. But also, a portion of a game is not enough film for me to evaluate.
Agreed. Absolutely. Without question. Oh. Here's the thing that's complicated for me about Buffalo. I feel good about the chances now getting in the playoffs because they are the best team of the ones outside of the bubble, now on the bubble.
But so too,
and because the Bengals are also out now. Well, we say that because Burrow not being there. That's the assumption that opens the door for the Bills to grab one of these spots.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it their schedule is the issue? That's the thing we're worried about. It's the schedule.
No, we've said that often. And if there's a team they're going to pass, I feel like it would be the Browns.
Even more than the Steelers,
even more than the Steelers, because while they win ugly, they still have Omar Epps, aka DJ Khaled, EJ Mike Tomlin. All he does is win, 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 no matter what.
And they did fire Matt Canada today. Finally,
blame Canada. So that should all be interesting upcoming.
So if I'm going to lock anything up, obviously Chiefs, AFC West, Tampa, yes. I'm okay with locking the Dolphins up at the 4th seed. Personally, I know you're not. In terms of wild cards,
you can lock and unlock as every week goes because you jerk knees and all that other stuff. Me, no, I'm not there yet.
I won't lock any AFC wild card teams just yet, but I think I might be a week away from blocking Cleveland.
I mean,
if they win this week, you can lock them up.
That does put them another game up on Pittsburgh, I believe they play. So
sure do. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
and if Houston wins again this week too, also I could be trying to sit that way.
This weekend is going to make me look real stupid about locking the Jags.
I'll tell you what. If the Texans win that game, against the Jaguars, I'm locking them up as at least a wild card, at the very least a wild card.
I can see an argument for doing that now, even if you're so down on the Bills, but I digress.
Right. But the Bills might still get in over someone slipping on steel slip, whatever.
Probably, yeah. The Bills versus a third AFC North team is a good matchup.
This is when a 7 seed becomes wacky, and I know you hate it, obviously, and I have my issues with it too myself.
And rightly so.
Right. But this is where the 7 seed becomes a lot more clusterfuck, because now if we're talking about 6 seeds here, the Bills are still probably not going to be in that thing. But we'll see. But yeah, that's the walk right now so far. And we'll keep doing this every week on the locks as we do every single time on this podcast this time of year, as we call this the pennant time of the season. One last NFL